Welcome back to After the Whistle. I'm Phil Bonatti here with Myron Schulz, the athletic director at BSC. Myron, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Excited to be here.
I know it's been a while since we've had you on, but I think we first talked to you when you first took over the job, and now we have you here a little over a year later. And I gotta check in with you. You know, obviously, how have things been? You know, after a year or so at the helm, what has been a kind of a surprise about the job in your mind?
I think a surprise would be or encouragement is got there and things were in pretty good shape. Buster Gillis left it in pretty good shape and just kind of learned the situation. But I think the surprise was just the interest in Bismarck State athletics. Our administration, from our president and vice president on down, are very involved and very supportive and want to see it grow. But then just digging back into the community and digging in, finding old BSC alums you didn't even know they were BSC alums, and just see their support and their interest. And it just makes so many opportunities. And that's kind of the fun thing, is just seeing day-to-day growth and just knowing how that's going to impact the current athletes and the future athletes.
I know there's certainly been a lot of things happening at this athletic department since you took over. Obviously, the one clear addition is the track and field team. A lot of interest when it first was announced, obviously, on social media and everything like that. What has been rewarding now seeing these athletes in action, seeing the program in action this year?
That's exactly it. To me, it was just all a theory, and it was on paper until we actually went up to game one and started ordering our uniforms. That's when it really sunk in. And then visiting with people like Daryl Anderson, former coach and local legend, and Mike Thorson and some of his guidance with it. It was, it's just fun to watch it grow. But now it's seeing the fruition and seeing, we got a great coaching staff, and being at our first home cross-country meet, a shared event with the University of Mary, but first time since the 1980s. And you can really feel it. Each sport's kind of its own tribe or genre, and you get into that group and you can just see the excitement of, more track opportunities and more cross-country opportunities in our town. And December 10th, we'll be out at University of Mary for the first track meet BSC's been on since the 80s too. So it's just cool. You just kind of pinch yourself seeing all this stuff happening.
I'm sure a lot of former athletes are excited to see them in action as well, bring back the old memories of back in the 80s, right, when they were competing. I want to talk about the rest of the fall season. Obviously a very successful volleyball season, making it to a national tournament for the first time since 2019. Talk about the development of this volleyball program, keeping local talent there as well, and then the interest you're seeing from fans as well from that season.
Oh, yes. Jen Walsh built the blueprint several years ago in the recruiting and just the administration of the program. And then Kyle Keithers came in and just followed along and built on that. And it's just exciting to see. And their sport is very able to recruit local talent and get really good girls and compete at a top level. And sometimes it's a little bit different from each program. Some programs, because other schools are going so far out, that maybe you got to blend your team a little bit. But with certain sports like track right now is mostly local, and women's basketball is mostly local, and volleyball is mostly local. But they can get great players local that can compete. So it's fun to watch that. And that really even helps the crowds, because all their extended families are at our games. But the crowd's been amazing. I mean, it's been fun. We don't have football, so we can put a lot of our homecoming was around volleyball, and our people over in our residence life, Heather Sheehan and Sarah Gibson and her group are doing an amazing group, and everyone's just kind of pushing it. And part of it comes from the top down and from the bottom up. The students are looking for something to do, and they're so supportive of each other, and it's exciting.
Now, what excites you about the future moving forward with BSC? Obviously, you've made some accomplishments with the track and field, but are there things on the horizon that maybe you could tease for us with BSC, or some things that excite you about the projects that you're developing?
So I always feel my job is to be a steward for the next athletes at BSC. I played there in 1984, 1985, so I can vision what they're going through. It's a little different now, but feels a lot of the same. And things we're really trying to do is ramp up staffing a little bit. What can we do to improve coaches' situations? I'm really searching out there the way we can build our scholarship funds, so we get a little bit more money to our athletes. And one thing is we're in the old Armory. We love it. It's our home, and we'll love it forever. But it was built for the National Guard. So our dream is, with some Title IX issues and just some facility issues and growth plans, it would, looking at some facility upgrades would be something we'd really cherish also. So we're just looking for opportunities all the time. I mean, one thing we were talking about off air before is one big thing at BSC in the history was wrestling. I mean, Brock Lesnar was there. Things Jeff Schumacher there, Ed Krinkstead. I mean, it's a wrestling mecca. And the fact also that women's wrestling is coming into play, that's something that I mull around a lot. But it comes down to it's not offered in our conference right now. So we're always looking at how could we fit wrestling back in, possibly up at BSC.
Certainly, athletics are growing for sure around the country, around the state here especially. I think the interest could be there, obviously, like you mentioned, with the growth of wrestling. Myron, I appreciate you for taking the time. I want to thank you for being on the show.
Well, thank you.